I'm basically always trying to use the STEM, like education, and basically trying to move towards the practical life uses or how we can make our everyday life easier and better.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Awesome.
How are you doing, Miss Faheema?
So I'm doing really good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for joining me today in the discussion Inspiring Big Dreams Without Pressure.
Yeah.
Let me ask you one icebreaker question. What's the funniest or most interesting job one of your younger students has said they want to do when they grow up?
Okay, so I have one that he basically said in a paper that he wants to succeed in herpetology, which is basically the study of reptiles. And then he also specifically mentioned he wants to have a wife and kids, which is pretty normal and healthy. And then he also mentioned that he wants to breed dragons. This is the interesting part. I didn't laugh it out because usually what happens, adults, whenever they hear funny things, they basically laugh it out and they say, yeah, what is that? All kinds of nonsense. And basically, I didn't judge. I basically asked him, like, out of all the animals, why dragons? So he basically said that they have the raw power, they have the ultimate freedom, and they have some. So it has some exciting mystery. So children, they're usually very curious about things. And he wants to basically study herpetology, which is basically study of reptiles. And dragon kind of looks similar to the reptile, and that's why he wants to pursue that. So, which was quite interesting for me.
Wow. How do you talk to young children about their future dreams in a fun way without making them feel pressured?
So, what I would do, since I don't have my own kids, but with my nephews and nieces, whenever we are watching movies together, and I basically tell, there's a certain characters, maybe an amazing woman, pilots, maybe a manager, whatever that is. I will tell them, yeah, what do you think about that? What do you think about her? She looks kind of pretty. She's so smart. What do you think about her job? This is how I basically encourage them, and this is how they can take their inspirations from. And not only that, whenever we go out, we see any manager or anybody basically observing their job, whatever they're doing. Like, yeah, what do you think about that? I ask them question. So they might get fascinated in that way. And not only that, they also start to respect all kinds of jobs, whether it's a janitor, whether it's a manager, whatever that is. They get respect for everybody and they also get the inspiration from this.
Wow, that's great. How do you connect today's reading or maths lesson to something your student loves, like sports, arts, or games?
Sports, arts, or games, since basically the topics I usually teach are pretty boring to some people. I basically teach physics, maths, but I try to make them engaging and interesting. Let's say, for example, I'm teaching them static electricity, which is basically the study of charges. And I basically ask them, okay, where I can use this in everyday life. And then this is how I'm basically always trying to use the STEM, like education, and basically trying to move towards the practical life uses or how we can make our everyday life easier and better.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much, Miss Faheema, for connecting. We are so proud to have you as part of the Mary Tutors family.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.